afternoon. It's 4:45 and it's getting dark. What is going on? Well, we're going to do the solds over the last 45 days of properties that likely were flooded. This is going to give us the data that we need to analyze what these properties might be worth. Here's one in Signal Cove. They were asking $149,000. It sold for $124,900 in 3 days. And this home flooded. Signal Cove asking $149,000. It sold for $125,000 in 0 days. I have a problem with these 0-day properties, but let's move on. Beacon Square, Gardens of Beacon Square did not flood. Now the Gardens of Beacon Square, Glenwood Village did not flood. All right, Sea Castle, 7th floor, did not flood. Okay, here we go. Hudson Beach Estates, Cocoa Avenue, 14 days under contract, sold at $187,000. It had been they were asking $200,000. This was listed 4 days after Helene, and it closed on October 25th. Sea Castle, 5th floor, did not flood. Okay, Berkowitz, listed for $270,000. Now, this was listed prior to Helene, and this sold on the October 30th for $200,000. This is a sales price of $168 a square foot. We really should spend a moment talking about the 50% rule and how it is impacted by these particular properties. But this one was listed prior to Helene at $380,000, and it went under contract and sold for $200,000. And this one did flood, and the sold price per square foot is $154 a square foot. I wonder if that's going to be the cheapest one. This was the very first one that sold. It was asking $175,000 in 3 days. It sold for $225,000, which is $224 a square foot. Claudia asking $250,000, sold for $225,000, $176 a square foot, and it went under contract and closed in 3 weeks after going under contract in 5 days. Gulf Island Beach and Tennis Resort, Beacon Square did not flood. All right, Mako and Sea Pines, asking $269,000, sold over the asking price for $275,000. 359 days. And this home did flood. Charter Oak and Beacon Woods did not flood. Sand Pebble, Beacon Square. All right, Flicker Lane. Let's analyze this one. This was on the market prior to it going pending. Prior to the hurricanes. And it closed on, oh my goodness, this closed on 9/25, the day before Helene. Oh dear. 6718 Flicker. Let's analyze this one. 6718 Flicker. So this one has a $20,000 tax assessed value. The land is taxed at $73,000. Oh dear. Oh dear. So if you don't understand why I'm saying oh dear, you should reach out. But oh dear. All right, Janita, it was listed long before Helene. This closed after Helene and after Milton for $320,000, $236 a square foot. Oyster Bayou, built in 2000. So this, even though the downstairs got water, the living area doesn't flood in these stilt homes. Again, stilt home. Sea Pines, Stilt Home, Gulf Harbors. Now this one was built in 1988, so it's likely that even though it's a stilt home, that the downstairs did flood. This closed 4 days after, and this actually closed over the asking price after 147 days. It's likely that the buyer rolled some closing fees into the purchase price. All right, I'm going to do a separate video for the pendings and the new active. So there we are. These are the sold properties over the last 45 days that likely flooded or flooded, and that's 25 properties. Randy Jenkins here. I'm going to continue to do this analysis. I have investors that are looking for the hard numbers, and that is the sales price per square foot of these homes. We're going to compare the block homes sold price per square foot, and we're going to look at the mobile home sold price per square foot. There are some very, very challenging, dangerous properties that have been listed in. Let's do a quickie active. All right, right now there's 159 properties that are active, but we're going to assume it's the flood properties that were listed in the last 45 days. So let's go back 45 days and see what's still out there. There's 36 properties that have been listed since the hurricane. 115, 129, 149, 150,000. Let's use Keel Court as an example. So this one flooded. It's been on the market for 23 days. 13127 Keel Court. Now we've had some examinations of what's going on regarding the 50% rule. So this property is taxed at $112,000. So they can rehab it for 49% of that $112,000 unless they get a appraisal and submit it to the county. And I understand one of the first ones has been submitted, and we're anxiously awaiting to see if the county is going to accept the appraisal to allow this homeowner to use the appraised amount for the building using 49% of that number. And the 50% rule is 49% in Pasco County. Look, I want to make this short, so I'm not going to go into that. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Randy Jenkins, Florida Real Estate Partners, 727-409-HOME. That's 4009-HOME. It's easy to remember. 409 spray cleaner. When you can't remember, go, who's that guy? 409, Formula 409 home. That's me. Wishing you guys the best, and have hope that we're going to be able to get out of these properties without getting crushed. Have a great day.